Look at us, a Heritage Glen. You can see, look at this, got tape all over the edges. That's how bad it's already failed. We got some tape down there. That's why we got the slide outs out, because we're looking at it. But you can see the rest of this all slobbered on there. I don't even know if that's tape. Yeah, it's got to be tape. What it is? Yeah, that's tape. That's what I'm guessing. They put it all around. They put it around everything. You can see the tape loosening up right there. On there. So what we did now is we got the scaffold apart. We're checking the slide outs over here. You just want to make sure they're okay. We've got plenty of tape on there. But that's why it's in here, getting a new roof. Other than what I'm showing you right here, I mean, obviously that's the reason why. But this has probably got a 1/4-inch Luan roof, more than likely. I am guessing that's a 1/4-inch Luan roof. Most of the ones that I see like this, you know, that don't have a ladder on the back, that have that kind of camber, usually they have the 1/4-inch. So we're going to find out real quick. Actually, we probably do it real quick. Let's see here. Maybe it's got a little better roof system. Oh, it's got OSB. All right, that's even better. So, all right, that's a plus. At least we can walk on it. If you're too heavy and you start walking on some of this that doesn't have, that does have the it's not really 1/4-inch, it's 5mm Luan. If you do have that on the roof, you'll hear it crack and everything underneath you. So, but that's about where we're at now. So we just check to make sure the air conditioners, everything work before we go ahead. Because if they don't work, we want to know now so we can either get someone over here to fix them, and also when we put them back, we don't want anybody to say, oh, my air conditioner don't work. So that's what we're doing now. But other than that, it looks pretty straightforward. So I would tear it off and we'll get going on it and get that roof system going. We got this passenger side already done. It's already been glued. So what we're doing now, obviously gluing this, we're going to put glue on the other side as well. Roll it over. Gonna wait for it to flash off. We're going to get a nice spread of glue on there. And we'll get down there by the bucket too. I'm sure we'll move the bucket. You want to apply the glue. You just don't want to put it on too thin. Alright, so what we do is roll the roof out. And now, we're going to take the big mama. We're going to roll and roll and roll and roll. And maybe roll a little bit more. Then the next step is to take all the vents up, skylights, get the curves down. This is what we got done so far. So we do have all the curves mounted. We got all our curves mounted up in here. And now, well, obviously roofs need to be cleaned, but show the logo to weld on right there. And right here, what you're looking at, that's primer. Right here, you need to have that on there. We've got it all down there. The white that you see is because we use white M1 on the back, which is our adhesive caulk that we used. So we use that on the back, and then we struck it down. So I'm going to go over it with black. But the black is a great product. But when you put that black on, you better know where you're going to put it, because sometimes it'll just stain and you have to really wash it off. So that's why we use the white. But I'm going to go over the whole thing with black, and then we change the insert trim right here, and I'll explain that later when I go get a piece. I'll show you. We changed all that out. Like I said, all this is all welded in here. Get everything welded. Got the antenna. Now that was his existing antenna. He had his. Most of the time folks have crank ups, but that's an automatic one. So we just put it back on, cleaned it the best we could, but it is what it is. That's some our bell caps, our plumbing and so forth. We got the new lens down here. And obviously this, we gotta get this off of here. We'll heat that up. Take that sticker off so it don't look so bad. And then get the stands on the back. So far, I mean, we're coming along. We got everything. And then we just gotta get that loaded. That's the antenna, the radio antenna. So we'll get that loaded. So we have that sealed up nice. And then again, like I said, I'm going around right now. Let's see, I can show you right here. This is the insert trim we use. So we'll get that returned down here. But if you look at this real close, see how it's got grooves in it? Most of the other ones, they just snap in. They're cheap plastic. They just snap right in. This is grooved. And you cannot buy this in black. So I know some people have called up and said, hey boy, where can I buy it? You cannot buy this in black. They have it in white all day long. You cannot buy it in black. The way I got it, it was a special order. And I said, hey, I need this in black. They said, we don't make it. I said, there's no way I can get it. They said, sure you can. You have to buy 2 miles of it. I was like, holy cow. Well, it's a much better product. I like this a lot better because the water can't get in either way because it's sealed. The ones that go in and they snap in, the water can still get into the track right here, you see? So it'll still get in there and it can still find its way around. Well, this way it can't. It's sealed on both sides, right? So that's why I like it. But anyhow, when they sent me the 2 mile price, we said the heck with it. It's a better product. We offer the best things we can get our hands on because you don't want to do these things twice. So, and I've seen some damage come from, there is a hideout. It's a fifth wheel hideout we did recently. It's 2017. You can go watch that and you'll see that we had to do the back wall, and some of the damage was caused because of a poor insert trim. And the water got down in there and it started pooling at the bottom of the wall in the rear. So you watch that one there and you'll see what I'm talking about. So that's why I opted to change it. But like I said, we had to special order it, and you have to buy 2 miles of it. So let's see how I zoom this over there. That skid right there, that's 2 miles. You have to buy 10,000 linear feet of that stuff. So I got enough there for a few years at least. So that's where we are right now. And we'll give you more of an update when we get it all done. Okay, we have got the first strike down. This is the black. Some of it's a little squirrely, so I want to put some tape on this so I have a nice, straight, clean line on the second one. The first one went down, we just embedded it in there. So, and if you're hearing that Frank Sinatra in the background, that's a good indicator. Today is Sunday. So we've got all the black on there. And like I said, we're going to run around it with a second layer right now. That's what we're doing. We always do 2 strikes. Inside the caulking, even though it's dispensed as it gets put in there, there's always air bubbles. So if we have an air bubble anywhere, we just put 1 layer on. As the coach kind of racks and twists and flexes, that air bubble could pop loose and then you'd have a leak. So, or potentially a leak. I mean, on this you wouldn't because we've got some behind the turn bar anyways. So this really is the second layer. We got the first layer behind this rail, and then we have the second layer right there. And now we're going to be technically putting on a 3rd layer. So you can kind of see how high the primer is up a little higher for the second layer, because we're going to try to overlap that. That's what we want to do. We want to overlap it. So that's what we're working on. We got a nice straight edge on here. See? There are a couple little burps in there. When you put your first strike down, you really want to get your finger and get it down. If not, and you have a burp, that second one isn't going to lay on it. That's for sure. So even that top come out pretty well, I think. You can tell where I kind of started and stopped right there. There's where the gun started and I had to go on the other side. This other side's a little better though, because I could walk on there when I come across. That's a nice clean strike on the front. That's the way they should look though. That's the way they should be done. These are different products. You really don't want to dull with it too much. It's a black. When it gets on there, it's just real hard to clean off. So that black dye just makes a mess. That's why I opted to tape all this. If it was white, it probably would have been a little easier to go across with it. But that's what we got looking at here. See that nice? That come out pretty nice right there. We did the same over here. Looks probably a little more crisp. So the next thing we got to do is obviously wash the roof, you know, take everything down, wash the inside, get that sticker off. We'll go around this with a second layer. More than likely I'll do the same thing and tape around this. And then we'll make sure we got another layer around that. Double check this. They said it was done, but we'll double check it before it goes. And we got the antenna in. The antenna is loaded and filled, so there's no worries there. These are awesome. This is a Ryobi one, but these guns, they really are cool. The bad part is, if you're not used to a power gun, that'll either be your best friend or your worst enemy. He'll either make a mess or you'll do a nice job and keep walking, but you've got to keep going with that gun. Once you get going, you've got to keep walking. So if you got to stop and hop it off, because once you stop the gun, that gun retracts back, and then when you pull the trigger, you got to wait about 4 seconds before it'll actually start dispensing caulk. So, all right, that's where we are so far. We finally got the logo welded in here. We got that done. So it's we'll go over this as soon as we get it clean. We'll do a final on it, show you all the what we got going on with it, the brand and all that stuff. We are done, complete. Heritage Glen is complete. Okay, so obviously you can see we've got our logo on here. I take the time to cut out every single letter and I heat weld it on there. Then you have obviously who did the roof, the month and the year. So now we can keep tabs on this. Or if you go to sell it, last thing I want is someone to get up on this roof when he's trying to sell it and they say, oh, I'm gonna have to talk you down. I know these RV roofs, they leak like a sieve, blah, blah, blah. I'm gonna put a new one on and go, hey, wait a minute, that was just put on a year ago, 2 years, 3, 4, 5 years ago, whichever. But we've got all the boots welded in. These are all welded. Everything's all welded in here. So there's no caulking slobbered anywhere except for where we needed the caulking to be on there, which is all primed and sealed. So we get all that on there. Skylight and everything, new skylight lens. We got our bases on here for the AC. I think I went over some of this before. And you can see we did the caulking down there with the tape. We showed you that. So everything's all set. We've got our flashing detail on the front, and we also have it on the front of this one as well. And the purpose of this flashing detail is so when water comes down, it's going to push it underneath the counter flashing that we make. So the counter flashing that's up on there, it'll push it below it and it'll roll it right out. So that's the whole purpose of it. And you can see we struck the front here with some caulking and everything. So everything's all sealed up nice and pretty. It looks awesome. Come out real well. You can see the bands right here going across. There's another one right here. Those are the protective strips that we put on there, and that's where the decking comes together. So that's why we put that on there. So let's give you an overview of what we got here. This is a 60 mil GAF brand called Everguard. Weather Stopper Everguard. That's what it is. So what it is, here's a piece. It's pretty thick. This is the same product you're going to see in a hotel, an office building, a library, restaurant. This is a structured membrane, and you can see this little weave right here. That little weave on the back, if you look at this, you can see some of the little, it looks like a screen or a mesh in there. That's the structure. That's why they call it structured membrane. It has a weave built into it, or a mesh. So that gives it some strength against impacts like hail or tree branches and things like that, so it doesn't just tear apart. It won't tear apart. Unlike rubber, like if you got a hole in the rubber, you know, that could start stretching and it'll just start ripping. This won't, even if you had a hole in it. So this is a sample that, you know, if you want one, just call us and we'll send you out one, or you can email us at contact us at rvroofinstall.com. But we offer it in the white, the tan, and then the gray. So obviously you can see this is the tan, and then this other coach over here going to get a tan as well. So all of that's on there. Now these plumbing boots, what I like about these here, the way we design these, is, you know, if that one over there, if a branch popped it off, they're just springs. They're just spring loaded. So we'll say it pops off, it's gone, and the water is only going to go down into your holding tank. It can't go anywhere else. All that's all sealed. There's no way it can get in anywhere else but the holding tank. So depending on how heavy of a storm you got into, you may have to empty that holding tank 2 or 3 times. All right, so then the other thing I was talking about was the insert trim. And I'll show you this insert trim. This is your typical insert trim right here. Snaps in, and it slides in this track, okay? Just slides in that track. That's all it does. It snaps right in. So when it gets in there like that and snaps in, you can still get water down inside here. And we've shown that time and time again. So what I did is I went out and bought a whole bunch of this. If you look at this, it has a groove in it. I don't know if you can see that groove there. I'm trying to give you a good picture of it, but it's got a little groove in it. And that little groove is what sits inside the track. So now not only is it inside the track, it's outside the track, keeps all that water out, and it stays in real tight. This stuff is really, really tight. So unfortunately, you can't get that in black. And you say, hey, how do you have it in black? Well, I had to buy almost 2 miles of it. I had to buy 10,000 linear feet, which is probably going to give me like 4 or 5 years worth of product, right? But they don't sell it. The RV industry don't make it. They won't use it. They'll use this stuff. They use this cheap crap. So anything that says RV, don't use it. Don't use it. Don't use Dicor. Don't use any of that junk. It's just, that's all it is. Don't use it. They just want to stay in your pocket. That's the whole way they design these things time and time again. I've taken them apart, and just the little bit extra they could do to make something last a little bit longer, they will not do. It's not going to happen. So, I mean, this being case in point, why is it that I can go out and buy this when a big corporation cannot? You know, why can't Keystone go buy that? They won't buy it. It's extra money. Oh, gee whiz, that's going to set us back. I can't give my shareholders that extra 3 cents on their dividends or something. In the meantime, the person who purchased the coach is going to experience issues with this, because the water, like I said, it will run down and it travels in that track, and it could get down inside like here in the bottom of that track, and then it could run behind this corner mold, and you just have issues. It's easy to fix it with the right stuff. So, but that's the RV industry for you. Well, like I said, if you'd like one of those samples right there, you let us know. We'll be glad to get one out to you. We appreciate you watching. And you know, you post some comments. We try to answer the questions the best we can. If you want some pricing or anything, give us a call. We don't do any of that on social media at all. And what else was I going to say? I think that's about it. We appreciate you watching, and pass it along. Subscribe if you haven't.